It can be a challenge to have career conversations in the classroom, but there are some crucial ways we can help set the stage and even encourage students to think further down the path, to literally see themselves in the future they're working toward. I'm Dr. Nathan Pritz, professor in the Academic Engagement Center, and the students I teach are aiming towards so many different majors and career paths that I can't possibly be a good resource for each individual job that's out there. But what I can do is help my students stay focused on the career skills they will need and empower them to have career conversations with the right people early and often. One thing you can do in your course is to talk about the content in terms of the translatable skills and core competencies underlying the activities and assignments. When you explicitly make the connection to academic and professional success, you're helping the student to see the larger context for their learning. And even if you're not able to impact the course at a curricular level, your comments on the discussion board or through the announcements and emails can help students see the trajectory. By creating a culture that prioritizes the great gift of learning, but contextualizes it in terms of career and lifelong success, we can better help our students take confident steps toward their goals.
Hi, UAGC faculty. Thanks so much for participating in the Classroom Management Mastery Series. Thanks also to the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning for their commitment to professional development and student success here at UAGC. My name is Matt Phillips, and I'm super excited to help you connect UAGC students with our expert career services professionals and our innovative career development resources. In a moment, I'm going to share my screen and show you some simple ways to connect students to career development resources. But to start, I want to speak a lot from the brain and a little bit from the heart. NASPA cites a quantitative study of 14,000 students at Ball State University, following them through 4 years of study involved in a formal careers program, as evidence that career intervention can increase retention and four-year graduation rates with great statistical significance. And that's regardless of gender or race. Surely, this group of students is different than those entering UAGC, but we can glean one valuable insight from this. Students are likely to have greater college success when they develop an informed career identity in tandem with their education. To that end, lacking a formal co-curricular career program here at UAGC, I argue that the online classroom is a vital place where we can encourage students to connect their academic journey to their professional journey. In career services, our work is mainly the work of coaching students. This involves everything from encouraging students to take action and build motivation, to providing them expert advice and technical guidance. There's a myth that career services professionals are solely focused on job search and placement, that they're mainly experts on writing resumes and conducting mock interviews. That is the case at some institutions, but as you all know, here at UAGC, we're just a little bit different. In fact, the scope of our career services work is far more holistic, inclusive, and predicated on meeting the student where they are in their current professional, academic, and personal life. That means, given the incredible diversity of our student body, that the career development needs of our students are far more varied and challenging than might be encountered at a traditional brick and mortar university. So many of our students enter UAGC with career development and occupational goals at the forefront of their minds. Their time at UAGC is part of a life-changing journey. That life change is often equated with finding a better job, making more money, swapping a blue collar for a white collar, breaking a cycle of poverty, or transitioning from service to our country to a competitive, unforgiving private industry. We see our job as student affairs professionals in concert with faculty and other members of the academy as helping UAGC students put together the broader puzzle that is their lives. The career piece of that puzzle is connected to and usually dependent on the UAGC piece of the puzzle. But make no mistake, these are separate but related pieces that must be joined together through careful thought, purposeful planning, and in some cases, trial and error. Please stay with me as I walk you through some simple ways to connect students to career development resources. Thanks for watching. So, how do you connect UAGC students to career development resources? Well, let's start in the classroom. We can see here I am in a current course of English 121. We see here the recent announcements from Dr. Nate Pritz. On the left sidebar, students have access to the Student Support Center. Now you'll see here that these links are from my admin account. You all have those links as well, but students will just see Student Support Center here at the bottom. You can tell them to click that link. That'll redirect them to the Student Support Center. And all of our career development learning resources are in the third tile, Academic and Career Skills, underneath Career Services. I want to point out something really easy that you can do to make it simple for students. This link here works for students who are currently signed into Canvas. So if you post that link in a classroom announcement or in a discussion post, the student should have a new tab pop open and they'll have access to this page. Notice that these are our most popular student resources, our most frequently requested student resources. Meet a career advisor is number 2 here, so they can meet with a real person. They just have to schedule it. Our career advisors are UAGC staff. We have 3 of them. They're aligned to specific colleges and in one case, doctoral students. What else? We have stuff on optimizing a resume, contemporary resume best practices. This opens up into a full module that takes about 30 minutes for a student to explore. It actually goes through the basic components of a modern resume, applicant tracking systems. We've got a cool little interactive module here with a knowledge check. A bunch of stuff is there. So in addition to that, they can apply to jobs on the My Career platform. And again, these open up into instructions for accessing My Career. That's the simplest way. Take this link, drop it into a classroom announcement, students can access it. The learning management system is not the only place where faculty can access career services or career development resources. You can see here I'm on our SharePoint site for UAGC. Hover over Departments, click CETL. Hover over Academic Support, click Career Services. I'd suggest bookmarking this URL here. But essentially, this page offers an overview of our department, our departmental learning outcomes. It includes multiple resources, including one for graduate students who want to become online instructors. We've got a great interactive PDF for them. The Teacher Certification Action Plan for students interested in teaching licensure. And then, of course, we have a list of our upcoming or current live presentations. In this case, we see we've got 4 employer info sessions recorded. You can share those with students. How you might share a link. You can do it here with these YouTube links or up here. Hover over that section. You can see on the bottom left, there's a URL that's popped up. Go ahead and right click and then copy the link address. We also have somewhat of a, I don't want to call it a decision tree, but it's a couple instances when you might really consider connecting students with career services. Again, use your best judgment. I know that students are on a learning continuum, and sometimes they come to these conclusions on their own, but if you feel a student needs some sort of career intervention from a professional, we're here. These are specific examples. There's 5 of them. I've taken these words here that you see from actual classroom posts. And these are instances where I would suggest a student reach out to a career services professional. Down here, we have some sample language for you to respond to these types of student questions. They also link to specific resources. Again, mirroring what's in the Student Support Center. You could also simply link to the Student Support Center if you liked, but here's some sample language as well. Again, you all might have feelings about this language and have a better way to do it. Please do so. This is just a suggestion. It's meant to be helpful.
Assessment is helping students take action and make sure they are developing career skills while they are at UAGC. We understand that our students come to us with different backgrounds, career levels, and experiences that impact and influence their career decisions. And we want to make sure we are providing all students with a path to career readiness by assessing and continuously improving student learning. As many of you know, last year we updated our institutional learning outcomes, or ILOs, and used the NACE Career Readiness Competencies as a frame of reference. For those of you who don't know, the NACE competencies are a list of competencies like critical thinking, communication, professionalism, and more that predict career readiness. The purpose of the ILOs is to guide the development of student learning outcomes and to provide a framework for decisions in both colleges at UAGC. Lead faculty in the Academic Engagement Center mapped their course learning outcomes in all general education courses to these ILOs. Also, program leads map their program learning outcomes to the ILOs. This means that regardless of a learner's course or program of study, they will be learning and assessed on competencies that directly relate to career readiness and professionalism. We have a yearly schedule to assess the ILOs, and this assessment allows us to make large-scale changes to courses and programs to make sure we are better suiting the needs of our students. You all play a role in this by helping us create data points when you grade assignments using the Waypoint rubrics. Each time you assess a rubric criterion, almost all of which are mapped to the ILOs, you're providing us with valuable data points. And these data points are influential in driving curricular, programmatic, and institutional changes and initiatives throughout the university, many of which are aimed to help students with career readiness. After this webinar, consider reviewing your course learning outcomes. Think about how these learning outcomes help the learners further their career and professional goals, and how your feedback and course learning activities support these efforts.